What's up, guys? JP back at you once again, bringing you guys day number 22 in my 10th annual 31 Days of Horror, a series in which we watch and review 31 horror films in 31 days, all during the month of October, leading right up to Halloween, and continuing along with our Severin title reviews. I decided to go with something a little simple. This is going to be a very quick review because I don't really have a ton to say about the film, but that is All the Colors of Giallo. From the year 2018, I want to say. So this was a documentary that came out, I believe it came out with All the Colors of the Dark when that Giallo was released. And I'd always wanted to pick this up, but it was always like $35, and I was like, I don't really want to pay that for this. I ended up finding it for under $20 eventually, so I finally decided to grab it. It is a very nice set. It's got 3 discs. One of them is a CD. One is the feature. And then there also is a couple of trailer compilations. And that's really awesome because it's fun to watch these old trailers. So basically what this is a documentary about Giallos. And it's feature length. I think it runs about 90-some minutes or something like that. And they start at sort of the beginning with Mario Bava's films. What was it, The Girl Who Knew Too Much or something like that? And then they move into Blood and Black Lace, and then they talk about the Argento's films, the Animal Trilogy, The Bird with the Crystal Plumage. They briefly talk about Cat o' Nine Tails and Four Flies on Grey Velvet. They get into some Fulci stuff. They get into some Argento versus Fulci stuff, and then they get into some of the more, later Giallos and sort of like the tail end of it. So it's basically, how do I put this? It's a brief rundown of the major stepping stones in Giallo history. The benchmarks in Giallo history. A brief rundown of that. There is some great interviews from Dario Argento, Lucio Fulci. It's an archive interview. Lamberto Bava. There's a handful of guys in there. They talk a lot about Edwidge Finch too, who is awesome, and she's in there talking. That might be archival interview as well. I'm not 100% sure, but my main issue with this is just that it, like, even someone like me who isn't like a massive historian of Giallo films, like, I knew most of this stuff. I knew a lot of it. The fun parts is when they start talking about the different Giallos and their opinions on them. That's cool, but at the end of the day, like, they don't really give you much history, which kind of sucks. So, with that said, I'll go ahead and give this one a 7 out of 10. It's interesting, but it's kind of basic. And Mood said that when he reviewed it too, so that's kind of the thing with it. It could have been a much more deep dive into Giallos. It like barely scratches the surface. Like I'd seen like all the films they were talking about. Wish that they kind of went into it a little bit more. And also they do talk about the early history of the paperbacks and stuff like that, which I also knew. Very curious on the trailer compilation, though, because that's kind of what I'm most interested in with this disc now that I saw the documentary, because that's always fun. But one other thing, there is a part where Fulci is talking about Argento, and I did know they had a rivalry, but I never knew like how interesting it was. Like, Fulci kind of like talks mad smack on Argento. Like, he's throwing strays for sure throwing strays, and I thought that was funny, like sort of backhanded compliments and stuff. It's really cool. But anyway, that's it, guys. Give it a 7 out of 10. See you tomorrow with another Severin review. Peace out.